Bournemouth face Wolves for the second time in the space of a week. A consecutive Saturday, this time it's the FA Cup. And on this show, we're going to predict the teams. How's it going to go? Well, Bournemouth, I think they'll probably want a reaction after their loss at the Amex in the week. But maybe Wolves will too, because they lost the game at home against Fulham. So all eyes will be on a quarter-final spot. Which team is going to make it? Welcome to the Big Match Preview. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
Tom, a disappointing week for AFC Bournemouth in terms of the result at the Amex. I suppose it wasn't unexpected. Brighton have certainly turned their little blip of form around and they're in really good shape. But it was a game of fine margins in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think it's one of the toughest places to go in the league. And like you say, they didn't... That big defeat they had against Forest, it didn't seem to affect them. They've bounced back really well. I think they beat Chelsea twice in a row, didn't they? Cup and league. So, yeah, they're a good side, mate. And they're one of the best sides, I think, that have managed to hurt us in transition. Obviously, a big part of that, from our perspective, is definitely losing our main man at the back, in Vardy, obviously, against Wolves. And that's a big loss. And then losing Christie during the game hurt us. But I thought we played well again. 19 shots away from home. It was well from Clivert. But yeah, we just couldn't quite get over the line. I felt when we got level, we looked like the team going to win it. But yes, it is what it is. That's back-to-back now, which we've done a couple of times this season. I think people forget back-to-back defeats. We've always bounced back. I think the last time, I think it was Brighton. It was Brighton and Brentford back-to-back. And we then went on an 11-game unbeaten run in the league. So let's repeat that, shall we?
Would be nice if we could do that again. So it was an enjoyable pre-match. Tom, you looked beautiful, I've got to say, in the sauna, in the ice baths, in the shower, and I got to see it all. The Back of the Net Kofi group might even get a Back of the Net After Dark special. There's a reason to join. Give you more information about that later. And the game itself, I think for a neutral, it was pretty absorbing. But can we just talk about that wonder goal from Justin Clivert, man? That is why you keep players like him and Semenyo on the pitch for as long as possible, because they can just produce moments like that. His first 45 was quite underwhelming, but then he gets on the ball and does that. My God, is that the best you've seen this season? Best strikes? He's got a few to his name.
Yeah, a lot of them are his, aren't they? I mean, I did, in terms of strikes, probably yes. Obviously, you got to mention his free kick as well. But I also like the technical ability of Brooksy's 1-0 against Everton. We've actually scored some nice goals this season, but Unal's header against Ipswich.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird one though, isn't it? Because obviously we've still got a few bodies out and obviously a few players that are not kind of ready to play long parts. So Evan Nilsson, Sinisterra are two prime examples. But often Clivert would have been off the pitch. Yeah. He often is replaced early, but it seems like he's playing longer at the moment, which is great for us. And we were talking before the game, weren't we, just hypothetically about kind of who would you vote for now if you had to vote for player of the season? We mentioned loads of players, as you'd expect. And then we both went, oh, what about Clivert?
Oh no, Christie came into my head, but yeah Justin Clivert's up there.
10 away goals.
Yeah, 10 away goals. First time an AFC Bournemouth player's done that in the Premier League, which is absolutely superb.
And I think the fact that he's obviously in that 10 role, but also we saw against Brighton that he can peel off to a wide angle. I think with Kirkus bombing on, it allows him to come in a lot quite comfortably. And he just looks like a player that's playing with a lot of confidence. I don't see him hitting that ball last season. No. Do you know what I mean? But now he nearly had another one later on in the game. So yeah, he's picked up the numbers this season, which has been crucial, particularly with obviously getting an injury to Evan Nilsson and losing Solanke in the summer. We needed someone to step up with the goals, and Justin's doing it.
Well, with some of his first touches, Danny Welbeck, of course, scored the winner with a cultured finish from him. I thought it might go like post and out, but it just rolled over into the net, and Brighton saw the game out. We had chances, but it wasn't to be. We left the Amex. The Brighton fans were singing, "You've seen the Brighton, now F off home." We would if we could walk out, but there were queues wherever you go.
We're trying, lads.
Oh,
we're trying.
My God.
We'll do it in an hour.
We really were trying. And look,
Wolves...
Wolves...
It was nice time to sing, though.
Yeah, it was. It was nice to hear him sing. And then Wolves were trying to get a result against Fulham. They equalised. So Sessegnon, worst possible start for them, with Sessegnon scoring first, but João Gomez equalised in the first half. But for Rodrigo Muniz to secure the win for the Cottagers, a 2-1 win. Big win for Fulham, not so good for Wolves. So as we take a look at the table, here is where we are at. Wolves are in 17th place. And of course, we know that Leicester lost at West Ham, of course, last night, which means that the gap between them and Wolves is still 5 points. I just wonder what that means for team selection going into this match against Bournemouth. Of course, at the top of the table, Bournemouth have dropped to 7. And when you look at it like that, we've lost 3 out of our last 4, Tom. It doesn't look good when you look at it that way.
I think I also look at it and go, we've lost 3 out of the last 4, and look how close we still are.
Yeah,
exactly. Everyone's anticipating obviously 5th being Champions League. So if we go off that, we're 3 points off Champions League, having lost 3 in the last 4.
But look at that top 10 though, mate. That's so condensed. I mean, 6 points between 3rd and 10th. I can't really remember closer Premier League. I always look at the Championship quite enviously when we're in the Premier League about how exciting it is. Yeah. Probably because we're not involved in it. But for this season, for the neutral at least, this European run-in is going to be the story of the season, because I think relegation might be decided. And I think the title probably is as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think form-wise, Palace are right up there. So they could, if they keep going with their form, they'll be in a conversation too. Brentford are still there, so yeah, it only takes a few wins, doesn't it, to get you back in the pack. Obviously, I actually think, considering we've lost 2 on the bounce, we lost in the week. I think the fact that Villa lost, didn't they, and then Newcastle obviously lost to Liverpool. Forest technically dropped points after drawing with Arsenal. It was only really City who, I always think we're going to get stronger, and then Chelsea had the gimme of Southampton. So could have been a lot worse, mate, having lost on Tuesday. We're still in the pack, and as I said before, we've lost 2 on the bounce twice before. I think Liverpool, Chelsea was back to back early in the season as well. So we've done it before, and we bounced back, mate. So no worries at all.
Looking for the complete insight into Wolverhampton Wanderers, if you're watching on YouTube, click the card at the top of the screen, because there's a hell of a lot of information there that we're not going to regurgitate on this one. We did a preview show, and you're welcome to watch that for all the news and views. But I think for now, we need to get on and predict the teams. Let's go. Right, Tom, then, can we put right the wrongs of last Saturday? Obviously, having 11 players on the pitch would be massive if we can. What's going on? We know that the club appealed Zab's suspension, and it didn't get downgraded, it didn't get eradicated. He's still got a 3-game ban, and that counts for the cup, so he's not going to be available for this one.
Yeah, he's going to be missing for this one and for Tottenham. So we've got to get through them games. And normally I think, that's not too bad, because you can just, Hill's back now, so you can move. You can always move Cook in as well. You've got Christie. No, Christie then comes off injured, doesn't he? And now I don't think it's too serious, by the sounds of it, but it's whether we risk. I'm going to make a call on this one, but it could go either way, I think, with Christie. I think Kepa will definitely still be in goal. Yeah. I think Cook should have to play it right back again. Hill and Houghton at centre halves, and Kirk as a left back. I mean, make a case for Soler, but I think we'll try and go strong and keep Kirk in there. I'm going to go for Adams and Scott, mate. I think if Christie's got anything, that was a midweek game, so I think try and get him a longer break and then get him ready for Tottenham potentially. Okay. So I'm going to go Adams and Scott, and I'm going to bring. I called that Brooks would come back in, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Now I'm going to go again and go Tav's going to come back in. I just think because Tav had that period out, I think they're going to keep rotating that a little bit. And I thought he livened us up a little bit when he come on without being spectacular. Good, obviously stick with Kluivert in the 10. I'm going to stick with Semenyo, but there's a little part of me that thinks he plays 90 minutes every day.
Yeah, he does.
Will there be a game where he's kind of gone, let's see if we can hold you and you're still there if we need you? It could be this one, but I'm going to stick with him for now.
Who else were you thinking? Maybe Cini?
Maybe a Cini, but I still don't think he's quite there because it's coming on so late. But I was also thinking maybe a Dango, because I think Ever's going to start up front.
Okay.
Got a feeling he's going to start Evan Ilson. The reason what I decided in the end was, okay, so he's going to leave Ouattara out, because I think you can start Evan Ilson, hope for that fast start, hope to get a lead, and you've got Dango, when hour or so, if we're ahead, Evan Ilson off for Dango running around, happy days. So I'm going to go with Evan Ilson, and that looks a good side for me, and then you can have some options on the bench.
First goal will be massively important yet again in this, because we know that Wolves' game plan changes based on whether they score first or not, and it'd be nice if we could notch, because then it might just stretch it out a little bit, just what Andoni would want. Okay, as for Wolves then, in their 3-4-2-1, how does this differ then from the last week? What you got?
Yes, it's difficult to make too many changes. It's hard to kind of gauge whether Wolves are going to go all out for the cup and think, see what happens, or they're going to go, I'm not sure. I think they should go for it, to be honest. I think they'll be good enough.
They'll be all right.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with Sarr in goal. They could change the keeper, to be fair, but I'm going to stick with him. Doherty, Bueno and Totti as the back 3. Going to stick with their main wing-backs of Semedo and Aït-Nouri. Going to go Andre and the goal scorer, João Gomez. I'm going to stick with Bellegarde. They could bring Sarabia back in, but I think Bellegarde's energy, they'll like against Bournemouth and Cunha. But I'm actually going to bring Strand Larsen in. He's come back from, I think he actually come back from injury against us, but from the bench. and then again against Fulham. So I just think they might go, like, you're ready now to have a start. And he scored 2 against us at their place, so he's got a bit about him. I just think they might give him a go from the off in this one. So yes, they've got a threat still, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So a few little changes for both teams, but nothing too drastic.
Okay, so what is your prediction for this one then? We want to know. I'll come to Tom very shortly, but put your prediction in the comments. We will read every single one. Take off your cherry tinted spectacles and give us a proper neutral view if you can. I've got a feeling this one could go to extra time.
Oh, that's interesting. We haven't actually spoken about this, but I was going to say, I've got this weird feeling we're going to win on pens.
What, Kepa's going to be the star of the show?
Hero.
Well, let's hope you don't have to take one.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 maybe, and Kepa. I don't know. I think we could have an edge. It'd be an interesting one. I do think there's part of me that thinks with this group and and this is not really talking about Wolves, to be fair, and obviously they could turn up and play really well, but off from what we know from our group and Andoni, I feel like there is something in them that will go, let's not lose to these. Like, we lost them last week. We had to send it off. And we could do a Forest and proper have them, I think, especially if we score early. But they are a decent outfit. They are hard to break down. They have got a bit of quality up the top end as well. So I think it is still going to be tight, but we'll either edge it or it'll go all the way to pens, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1, win it on pens, mate. Kepa, well, they'll be level on pens. Then Kepa will save one, and then Jebo winning pen.
One thing that I think was ironic about the win last week was that Wolves were the only team in the Premier League that said, no, we don't want VAR, and they benefited from that.
I know.
But
do you know that annoys me, by the way, when Wolves fans, every time you moan about a decision, Wolves fans go, we should have voted for. You didn't have a vote either. It was your club. It's not my decision that Bournemouth voted for it. Not my decision.
No, exactly. One thing we do have, so VAR is going to be involved in this round of the Cup, but also semi-automated offsides. We're going to have that as well.
Sure, that'll go smoothly.
Yeah, I'm sure it will absolutely work.
Did you see the Villa one against Palace in the week, that offside for Ollie Watkins?
Oh, yes, I did. My God.
I mean, why are we turning football into science? I just had it.
So you're going pens then?
Do you know who the ref is? Or
Yeah, it's Chris Kavanagh. He's brilliant.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a really good ref.
No, I'll take word for it.
The Go Hope paid me to say that. So yeah, you're going pens. Actually, I've changed. 2-1 Bournemouth. We're going to beat him in 90 minutes. And the FA Cup draw for the quarterfinals is on Sunday, I gather. So fingers crossed. If we did get through, it'd be nice to get a favourable one. And then I tell you what, we'll be licking our lips at a potential FA Cup semi-final.
Just want honestly, now obviously there's, depending on who goes through, and obviously if we do, you'll be able to go, that'll be the best one, that'll be the worst one, blah blah. But right now, if you offer me anyone at home, I'll take it. We got through, so another home draw will be nice. But yeah, I'm fully aware that if we go out, then Wolves will get Preston or Burnley at home.
Yeah,
and if we go through, we're back off to Newcastle.
You just know it's going to happen. Look, however you have been taking this in, whether it's on YouTube or via the audio pod, which you should check out now. Thank you so much, and you can do us a couple of favours. Yeah,
click the like button, click the old bell to be notified, and if you click the big fat subscribe button, that's the most important. So yeah, make sure you do it.
Nice one. Other cherries, and we'll see you at D Court. Do you fancy a sauna, by the way?
Oh, let's do it.